Hey, Mary.
Good morning for me.
Good morning. Has anyone else joined or it's just you guys? Or just you?
I don't know. I mean, you and I, who are both not programmers, are going to be really great at programming, aren't we?
Absolutely fine. Um, no, Adam is just spoke to him, so he will be joining. But um, oh, 1 second. He's calling me. Hey, Adam.
Sorry, guys, I was on a different Zoom link.
All good. All good. So,
What's on the agenda today, Owen?
been been in meetings all day to be fair, so I haven't got loads there. But let me give me a second. I'm just gonna try. There was a problem with the emails not being sent out again, so um, let me just email everyone the link to make sure anyone isn't missing it.
Hmm.
Hmm. Emails are now fixed. And
All right, you're keeping me in suspense for far too long.
Give me a second. Let me just send out an email to everyone who registered, and then we will be good to go. One guy joined and then left, so let's make sure he gets back in.
Who did?
Some guy called Hova. I'm not sure who that is, but as you know, we welcome all. So let's see if we can get him back in the room. And then we have a few normal people, and then some of the others. So um, okay, they're all set. And then last thing, I'll just chuck it in the town square so that people can come. Okay, cool. Right. So, okay. Right, so I guess the plan is to build a component. You okay? I guess the plan is to build a component. So if I show memory. If I share screen, and I'll chuck this link in the chat as well, Mary. Adam, you're probably already aware of it, but this is Component Creator. It's been around for years. It's created by Soren Jensen from Jensen Technologies, and it's just had this AI part added to it now. So that's so new. He hasn't even put it on the site yet. I spoke to Soren and then explained to him I want to do a jug about this, and he said he would add the AI bit to the free plan so everybody could take part in it. Quite frankly, as this is a code along jug, you're welcome to use any tool you want. Doesn't bother me. The idea is that you've got a component by the end of it and achieve it however you see fit. Either that could be copying another component or something completely different. I don't mind. But the free version allows you one table and the three components. So because it's only got one table, it's going to be a pretty simple component. Component. So and it's got 30 fields, and obviously the paid one, there's a monthly £34 a month or $38, and it gives you unlimited stuff. He did say he would add the AI to both. I don't know if he had time to implement it or anything like that, but my suggestion is that we do that. I've got the paid one, um, so I can do the unlimited stuff. But the point is, there's this AI generation tool here. I'm going to click on it. I basically give it some of this information, and then I just I type in a prompt for the AI. And if I show you the one that I generated the other day just to test this would work, it's this one. So we have jobs. We have different types of jobs. So like the jobs could be development or design or content writing or something like that. And the job would be like write some content for company X and then develop a component for company Y or whatever it is. Skills could be like React or PHP or whatever else. Freelancers are like the people who could apply for jobs. Quotes are the quotes that the freelancers have done. So I'm a freelancer and I quoted on these 3 jobs. I have 3 different quotes. Businesses, a freelancer can be part of a business. So I know a freelancer wouldn't necessarily always be, but it could be that one company has like 6 developers working for them and they're all able to put quotes in. So they guess there wouldn't be freelancers in that case, but it's still kind of how I thought of it. Contracts would be if someone works for me, I need them legally to sign some contracts, like to say that they're going to abide by GDPR and stuff. So I need to get them signed before they can actually do any work for my company. So I added that bit in, and notifications was basically, I thought the idea would be that when I put a new job online, it should email the people who might be interested or who I invite. And then if we take that a bit further and look at like what a job is, it's got all these different fields. So obviously an ID, the title, description of the job. And my idea was basically the visibility, I would have it either public, invite only, or private. I'd have a max number of freelancers because the last thing I want is 5,000 quotes from people. I won't get anywhere like that. So maybe if I limit it to 3 or something like that. And then expiry date for the quote. So if I need this done next week, so I need the quote done by tomorrow, I can set that so that the person applying knows, okay, I can hit this deadline. So I've got the quote expiry date, the project delivery date, project duration, so like 2 weeks or whatever, payment terms and information. Basically, it might be like I'll pay you up front or 30 days behind or whatever. And payment information, I can't remember what I was going to use that for, to be honest with you. Um, and then just some other kind of standards. So you get the idea. This is something that was completely built by the AI. So I have done nothing else with it since. All I did was create some empty views. Um, but yeah, this isn't really a show and tell. This is really meant to be like go away and do stuff. Mary, do you like just seeing what I showed you? Do you have an idea of something that you would like to build or?
I don't. I watched the YouTube video about this component and I thought it was very interesting. I frankly am just really trying to learn about programming and AI.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in the idea of it, but the light bulb hasn't really turned on yet for me. So any little tidbits I get, like I'm super interested in what kind of prompts you gave the AI to generate this.
Sure, I can actually show you that. So um, if I know where I saved it, I have got it somewhere. Give me a second, I'll find it. I gave it a huge prompt, by the way. So um, but I really knew what I wanted, so I was able to look at it. So here's the prompt that I used. You can see that, right?
Yep.
Um, so look, I want a component that allows freelancers to quote on jobs that I have available. This is a real life thing that I have a problem with. I have a client that comes to me. I'm out there selling. I'm not doing any work, so I need people to come and do the work for me, and I need to A, get them to quote. B, I need to have some sort of system that knows, like, oh shit, nobody's quoted on that job yet, and it's causing me to delay the project, and then I'm not winning the job. Um, but also, sometimes these jobs take like 2 years to close because it could be quite big development jobs. And when they do close, I need to remember who the hell quoted on it, what was the price they gave me, and I have to look through emails and stuff. So this was a genuine problem that I had. So I was able to describe in detail, like jobs will be public or private or invite only. They can be assigned to different people. Freelancers can have these fields. So I knew kind of what fields I wanted. Um, Freelancers can also have quotes. Um, and businesses can have this stuff and staff members. So I knew kind of all the different tables and information I would need. So I was able to describe it. And this is 3 pages in Microsoft Word, right? So um, and it's only size 12, so it's quite a detailed prompt. You don't have to do anywhere near as detailed. It will generate you something. If you say, build me a car rental component, it will do it. The clever thing that I liked about it was if I go to like freelancers, um, Now, what was the in fact, if I go maybe to go to businesses, maybe it was that one. Oh, businesses should be in freelance. There should be a business ID somewhere.
Owen,
Yeah.
you know what I'm thinking is maybe it would help her if the three of us built a brand new component together so she could have input and maybe we kind of just do it, you know, and everybody can kind of code along with it.
Sure.
Maybe we can do like a basic
I
like
think it's
event,
something
like in
very
a base, yeah, like a basic event component, something that, you know, obviously there's other event components out there, but something that just allows you to create an event, have
I was
start
kind
date,
of
end date.
because the free one only allows you one table. What could we do with just one table? There's not a lot, to be honest with you. It's just a list.
Well, I mean, if we're using the categories from core Joomla, we don't need to use a table for that. So the one table could just be the events.
Hmm. That's an interesting idea. Don't you then need another table for registrants or something though? The most
Yeah,
simple.
it's true. Yeah, we would need at least two tables. Well, can we use it on yours?
We can use it on mine. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. But I just wanted to make it accessible for everybody. And I don't know if because I've emailed the others,
Well,
if they'll join any.
well, yeah, but I think that if other people see this and they could see like, okay, I need something that has at least two, but I think for a lot of people that have never really built an extension, have only used them, you know, this would be a kind of a good to see like, let's plan it out. Like, what are the tables that we're going to probably need, and then realize that we need more than just one.
Okay, fine. But the simplest extension, if someone's watching this and they want to build it in the free one and they only have one table, the simplest thing I can think of for that component would be a to-do list. That's one which only requires one table. So if someone's watching and they wanted to try that, that would be, in fact, we've got enough time. Should we just do that one quickly?
So let's talk it out. So what's the use case for this to-do list? Because somebody's not going to, you know, set up a whole website just for a to-do list. So, so is this going to be something for developers that install this on projects they're working on so they can
Well, I don't know, maybe how about I'm really kind of aware that like I could suggest something like a to-do list. Oh, he's left. A to-do list could be built in Joomla articles still, but how about like imagine like a pet sanctuary, and they're trying to they've got all these cats and dogs that they need to let people take off them, rescue. Maybe that could just be a single list of things, right?
well, the problem is that I think in any of these cases, you're going to need to have some sort of onboarding, you know, table for users or something, and then something else.
Mm.
But
But
let's not make it hard for ourselves. Let's just use this. They can code along if it.
users, right? So you don't need users then. You can use a form component of some other description. Doesn't need to be this, maybe. Or,
No, if we're gonna build a component that's gonna do all this,
okay, okay.
you know, like it's actually really hard to build a valid, an actual valid component that can do enough off
Okay.
of just one single table.
Then, okay, fine. I agree. So then here's my suggestion. Have you heard of Pipedrive?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You heard of Pipedrive? Um,
Uh,
it's just a series.
no.
Right. This is what it looks like, right? You have deals and there's all the different columns they can. It's drag and drop. So you drag it from here and you drag it into the next column. Say, right, this qualified lead. Now I drag it into contact made. And so you
Okay,
basically
I like that. I
you
like
got
that.
deals, then you got businesses, and then you got people. Now the people are part of the business. So the person, you're going to save their email address and their name. The business, you say the business name and which people are part of it. and the deals you save, like how much the deal was worth and stuff like that.
What about, we could do that, or we could do something else. What about something that allows developers to manage their clients? So you enter it in, you have a spot where you can enter their website information, any additional notes, that kind of stuff. Um, almost like a database. So when you're out and about, if you're traveling and you need to access somebody's site, you're not sitting there like, what's the login information? You could log into your Joomla site and have access to all of your information.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. Mary, is there actually a problem that you solve in real life that you think we could build? Maybe we could try and build
The,
something.
the problem I'm having right now that I would love to fix is my invoice component, that the support has disappeared from it. It's the invoice creator from Joomla, that I believe is who the company is.
Okay.
And
They're not supporting it anymore?
not really. I mean, if you go on the
They have some.
forums there, yeah, if you go on the forums there, you'll see there's just thousands of people saying hello. And yeah, so I basically got it to work for Joomla 5.
Flying, so
But the recurring part of it doesn't work anymore, and I can't download my invoices properly, and just some of the nice things stopped working. So it's still somewhat functional, but I'm still trying to either fix it or do something else.
okay. So okay. So what do you think of trying to do that? And like an invoice. Hey Terry, by the way, an invoicing system of some sort.
Yeah, because they if I remember, like they have connectors to like Virtuemart and J2 and different things that you can tie into, but I think it's kind of, a way of being like a QuickBooks, something where you could send invoices to clients and manage them and
Exactly. That's what I use it for. I send invoices, and the recurring part stopped working. So I had a bunch of people who were supposed to get invoices automatically that they just don't. So I have to manually do it now.
Okay, okay, okay. So like uh what I would always do is start by like maybe drawing stuff out rather than going straight into the system and giving it a prompt. Um uh just just before we go on.
why don't we do this? Why don't we use AI to create the prompt for us and basically tell it what to do and to scour the internet to find some of the top invoice companies and put together a list of the, minimum viable product. Uh, and that way it kind of can lead and then we can
So
look at it.
I would just jump into ChatGPT to do that. What would you guys use?
I would usually use Claude,
Okay.
but yeah, let's just, if you already got ChatGPT, it's something I
I have
think
got
most
that.
everybody,
So
okay?
hey Terry, by the way. No, is it Terry from Australia?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Mm.
Welcome. Terry, you weren't here at the beginning. We just got Component Creator. It has got this new AI generation tool where you give it a prompt and it creates some stuff. So just quickly to go through, I created this idea of a freelancer portal where I could get jobs from customers and say, oh, I need some people to quote on this. So here's the job. And then I've got freelancers that can come and quote on it. This is what it came up with. It generated all the tables. And then inside the tables, it generated all the fields. And the cool thing, it's got like this list and form and edit links. You can also make it so you can only edit your own. But the cool thing is, for example, freelancers might be part of a business and it did this foreign join key from the other table. So it's joined it as a table based on the ID and business name. So did all of that automatically, which was pretty cool for me not having to do any coding. I gave it quite a detailed prompt to get that, but
Hmm.
Mary has a problem with her invoicing system, so we figured we'll try and solve that. And we're going to use AI to generate the prompt in the first place. So it is code along, so you don't have to do the same thing as us. You can do whatever you want. Soren Jensen, who built Component Creator, says he's added the AI to the free version, but it only gives you one table. So you get one table and you can have 3 components. Whereas I've got the paid version, it's euros or dollars. It's not super expensive for what it's doing, saving me a ton of time, and I can have unlimited everything. But let's go. So, right, let's generate the. So I would just do it from here, Adam. Is that what you would do?
Yeah, switch it to Opus
Mm-hmm.
and let me.
So if you want to join in, feel free to sign up to the thing and start building your own component at the same time. Or if you just want to watch, that's fine. But I really like it when people actually do the same exercise, so they've got it themselves and can develop on
Yeah,
it. Do you want to share your screen instead, Adam, as you're the resident AI expert?
well, I'm just creating a prompt I'll send in Mattermost, and then that way we can copy and everybody else will have it. So just give me 1 second.
Cool. Good idea. Good idea.
Creator to invoice component. Okay, I mean, it's not, we can probably add on this, but I'll just throw on something that we
Yeah.
can kind of start with.
Okay, here we go. All right, so that's in the Mattermost, so we can find that if we need it. Create a prompt for a component creator to create a Joomla 5 invoice component using the most common features found in basic online invoice systems such as recurring invoices, reminders, payment pages. Okay, cool. So we're on Opus 4.1 and I'll see what it does.
So the beauty of creating a prompt to create a prompt is that we don't necessarily have to use all these, but just going through it, it reminds us of things like, oh yeah, that would actually be really cool to have, or, we don't really need this. But
Yeah.
I've actually started using it to scour the components when I'm done, and I have it basically create marketing material based on all the parameters and features that it sees inside the component. And oftentimes there's like 5 or 10 different items that I totally forgot that it does, that I never would have included in the product description, that it's there. And then we use that to help create the documentation on how to actually use it. But yeah, it's one thing that is good is that it does give us a lot more information oftentimes than we need, but it's always easier to remove things that we don't than it is to think of things that we do. So this, is a definitely a good starting point. So now we can kind of go through and see what are some of the things we don't really need, because we don't want to make this overly complicated. We can always add additional things later, but
Yeah.
um,
I mean, there isn't anything here that I would say we should remove, but
I mean, we can see how extensive the AI is on
yeah.
component creator if we just plug this in and see like really what
So
is it.
no, I mean, I'll tell you something up front. It only creates the tables and the fields. It doesn't create the views. So you have to automatically create the empty views at the end, which is where we're going to need to do a bit of the labor ourselves, although probably using AI, I imagine. But the point is, we won't need to tell it to use Joomla's built-in ACL. We won't really need to tell it to follow the MVC. It will do that stuff automatically.
The thing is this is a working document that kind of is a guiding light. So we could even marry the stuff we've done. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw Mary's name in there, but Mary is in, a marriage of what we've learned these last month and a half using, or couple sessions using, Claude code in the terminal to even help build the views themselves once we've loaded this in. So this could be the initial starting point that starts it. And then we could even go take it. And I don't know if we'll have enough time in this session to do that, but this could be something where we start it off, we go and install it, and then maybe the next session we could show how using the two of these together could actually
I think if we was to get like one view working, that would be a pretty good achievement, to be
we
honest.
can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Look, stuff like I see it here, a RESTful API for external integrations. I can tell you that on the one I created, there is an option for somewhere for it to have um, the web services API
Right there, yeah.
and ACL as well for each individual field as well, which is kind of useful as well. And privacy tool and content versioning. So
All right, well, let's throw this in there and see
let's do it.
what it starts off with us, and then we can work on the first or second view. Even if we end up using Claude code to finish the rest of it or add some more advanced features,
Yeah,
having this build out the first couple views based on our input will also give it some more context. So when it builds the following views after, it can use that for reference.
yeah, cool. And you should be aware there's like a limit on how many AI things you can do as well. It does tell you somewhere, I can't remember where. So this bit you have to fill out manually, so no problem. We'll call it uh
Invoicing maybe, or
yeah,
invoice.
yeah. And then it'll be called invoicing description. Just give one for
So go into Claude and have it say, based on this, on the previous specs, create a short product description in 3 sentences.
great. Just chuck that in there. Nice one.
I would get rid of that first part of the sentence and just start it after the dash.
Sure. Okay, cool. And then um, for now, I will just do um,
And then we definitely want to check the bottom 2 of premium features.
yes. Yep. And then namespace, we would call it code along jug,
No,
and we'll add.
no, keep the namespace similar to like just invoicing or something.
Well, if you were to create multiple components, you would have it under your company name, right? That would be the way to do it. That's the whole point in namespacing.
So do But CAJ, just kind of long.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We don't have to type it, right? Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Cool. So all happy, we can hit the next button.
Sure.
Welcome, Manfred. You want to unmute and say hello quickly?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, where are you from, Manfred?
Pardon?
Where are you from?
From Germany.
Germany. Hey, welcome. So just so you know, we're working our way through Component Creator. We're building an invoicing component. That's our test thing. If you want to sign up and do it at the same time, that would be great. Or if not, you can sit and watch. All we've done so far is create a new component and give it some of the naming stuff. I'll hit save component, and that will bring us to the AI prompt part. So I will hit that. And what we've done is we went into Claude Code and we got it to write the prompt for us. So this is a quite a lengthy prompt which we're going to give it. And if I chuck it in here and hit continue, it will start to generate stuff. This does take a little while. When I did it the first time around, like bearing in mind this is quite a large prompt, and the one I gave it was quite a large prompt. This took quite a while, and it just says like all of this stuff over and over again. As you can see, the page has not got a loading icon. So after ages, it didn't do anything. So I refreshed the page, and it was all done. So I don't really know how long to wait for. But just so you're aware, if that happens, refreshing it might be the thing that solves it.
Or you can open up the component in another tab that's not building this and then see what, if all the tables are there and
So, okay. No, so no tables yet, so I guess it's still doing it. So since that's doing that, why don't we why don't we maybe have like this is the one I built before. You can build subforms. I haven't really done anything. I built one with skills just so as an example. Your empty views will, as they say, be empty, and you can add your code afterwards. But it will at least have like the base code. If you need anything in config, so you know when you click options and then you have your configs there, um, you can have some configs. So in this one, I allow new users or not, basically. But there might be something you can, I don't know if there's something we can think of for this invoicing system. It'd be good to have something just for the sake of it. And then you can add your additional language strings and you just choose,
probably currency.
yeah, currency would be a good one. Yeah. And maybe like, API key for Zero or QuickBooks or something might be another one that would work for the invoicing thing. Um, Again, it's probably just stuff we're sticking in there for now because we may run out of time, but let's have a look and see. Still nothing. So if we go back to, oh, here we go. So it has come up with stuff pretty quickly this time. So immediately what's happened is it's creating these tables. So we know recurring invoices, payments, payment methods, reminders. And if I click on this, it opens up to show me what fields I have. And it tells me the types as an integer, text field, or whatever. Um,
So
so
frequency should probably be a drop-down field with, something like monthly, yearly, some of those options.
right, so then so what's drop down called? Is it list or select
Yeah,
list?
list, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then I don't know how to update that. Well, I guess we can do that in the next stage. Do we agree with everything else here?
So we have next generation date, that's weird, versus end date.
Yeah, so it's like the first invoice and the last invoice, maybe. Really.
Well, I think it's, when did it start? And then if based on the frequency would then generate the date. on the next generation for the invoice, right? Based on this particular invoice is every month, so
Right, so
generate
that
this.
probably would be done in code rather than, but you still, so maybe it should be start date, do you think?
No, well, next generation date, it would be maybe just next date instead. I just
Yeah.
think that's kind of a long underscore, yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. So everything else in there we're okay with, huh?
And then occurrences limit, maybe we just do I just try and keep it simple, because when you're coding, you know, occurrence is an easy word to misspell, and then you could
Yeah, so number of invoices or something?
um
Max, no, number of times or
maybe frequency limit or
invoice limit?
no, because that can mean a lot of different things. I think this is something of
Okay, how about max number of invoices?
well, we're going into this really long database table.
But it doesn't matter. It's more important to be descriptive than to be short. Because it makes it more maintainable for you in the future, and if you work with other developers, it makes it maintainable for them as well. Main thing is that you know exactly what it does just by looking at it.
Maybe reoccurring limit.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So we better check the other ones then, because it's easier to update it here than in the future. So
Yeah.
you can see it's automatically done the foreign key, so it's linking to the invoice ID, and it's linking on the table recurring invoices and invoice ID, and it's showing the value of the frequency. Payment date, amount.
Status shouldn't be a text field. Status should be a select field based on, you know, a few status names that we create, like paid, unpaid.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, you're right. So then a select list, but actually for the
But realistically, statuses should be a separate table,
why?
because then that way users can create their own statuses and not be limited to whatever we say that they are. And then it's able to grab a list from the status table. So if, let's say Mary has, you know, 4 stages of her invoicing and we only account for 3 of them, then it's going to limit her. But if she can add additional statuses on her own, then she can build it into her own workflow.
Okay, so then
So I would have AI see if it can automatically, because then it would need to update everything anyways to anything that has a status field. It could then tie into that table.
but it's only going to be in that one place, right?
I probably not. I mean, status is usually something that's going to carry it through most.
Yeah, but
Plus,
status. So
and on the status, is it going to be status for
so there's a state which is like a Joomla state. So
yeah, that would be published or unpublished. That's different than status.
yeah, exactly. But what I was going to say is this one is saved as a tiny int. So it's like 1 published, 2 unpublished, or 3 draft, or whatever it is. So the question I was going to say is, should it be status be a tiny int or a drop down?
No, well, it should be a drop down, because the reason the state is a tiny int is because you're not actually typing in 1 or 0 into the field. You're just selecting something that is adding that value in there. So it doesn't need to have that. But in this case, if we leave it as a open field, somebody could type in a status that doesn't exist and it's not going to know what that means. So we have to be able to create a status table and then have the field be able to grab anything that's published that, you know, is in that table, and then present that in a drop down.
Right, but my question is really like, I guess how does a drop down work? Because we're just talking about a database at this point. So
Right. So it wouldn't be a select, it would be a database join type field, whatever they have. I don't know. Can we look and see what field options they have?
Yeah, we can, and it's a foreign key which you need, which is so we've got the Joomla fields, and then of which there's quite a lot, and then we've got this foreign key select from another table. So I guess we would have to create the table first, and then we would join them. Then you've got all these numeric, you've got some date and time, and you've got some strings. But I think if we go back and create the table,
Now, can you use AI to modify this?
no, I don't think so.
It's only on the initial generation.
Yes, if you use AI, I think it just generates a new one. But it's not too hard, so we might as well go through the process. So we're calling this invoice status or payment status?
Um,
Invoice status, right?
well, yeah, no, just called status. Yeah, because invoicing is going to be the beginning of every one of the tables here, right?
There's a payment status as well, right? Payments could also be rejected or something else as well. So should we make it invoice status?
Or we can have a single status table, and then inside the status, we can have a column called type, and it could be invoice or payment or something else.
Okay, that's true. That could work. Okay, fine. So then it'll be a regular table as opposed to a nested table. Storage engine, I normally leave it as inherited, but there's some options.
Do you want to explain to anybody that's watching the difference between a regular table and nested table?
I would love to, but I have no idea. Do you know this?
Well, did you click on the question mark next to it?
If you do not know what you're doing, leave this here, which is what I did. Nested table is the native support for storing and retrieving hierarchical information in the form of nested sets in database tables. So is this what's it called? It's like a view or something in
Yeah,
SQL.
yeah. So, in other words, the takeaway from this is we leave it as regular unless,
Oh, tags are a nested table, says Manfred. Thank you. Oh, here you go, Adam. That's your theme tags.
yeah.
So they're a nested table. Okay, cool. Interesting. Or categories. Categories are a nested table as well. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so we're going to leave it as a regular table. Storage engine, again, I don't really know the difference between
No, just keep it as inherited unless you know,
exactly. So then we don't really need the privacy for this particular bit. Or
you can do add a list view in the front end just to have it build that out, whether we use it or not.
sure. And then link to details page of the item we don't really need, right? And we can allow
Well, if you're gonna have the list of it, and let's say we want to create a front end view for Mary to not have to go in the back end, but to create or edit the statuses, then we might as well
that's
link to the details page, because the item would be the status right there, right?
no, the item like so it'd be like if it's paid or unpaid, for example, clicking on it would take you through to the paid page. But I don't think because it's just a drop down, I don't think we need necessarily to do that, right? Or do you think there would be a need maybe to show all? Maybe there would. Let's tick it. Easier to delete than add. And font awesome here. It doesn't want the whole span in there. It just wants the class for the font awesome. So just in case people don't know what it is, I'll show them.
Now, you're already in there, you just gotta type it in.
So this one, for example, all I need
But
is
that's not, yeah, but we need to use, well, you can, we need to use for status, probably like,
I don't know, maybe a question or something.
well, that wouldn't be a status icon, that would be,
Go on, what do you think there?
I don't know, type in status, see what comes up.
I personally don't think it needs one, but yeah, showing battery status. I don't think it really needs an icon, but like just
How about maybe just a flag?
okay, cool. So I copy it and then I only need this class bit. I don't need the bits that surround it. And then it gives you the plurals of them as well. I don't think we need web service API for this part.
No,
Or any of the other bits. So I'm going to click create. Everyone in agreement?
works for me.
Yeah, cool. So now we have the status, which is the correct way of pronouncing it, by the way.
If you're on the wrong side of the pond, maybe.
So now we need the status here. Well, that's not it. So where were we looking in payments, were we? Was it in payments we were looking? Yeah, it's either a recurring invoice or payments, right? So the state of the invoice could be like, it's going to be like draft or publish, really. But the status is going to be like paid or unpaid, right? You're on mute, Adam, if you're talking. So I guess we need to do a bit more on this one, because we needed to add the extra field
For type.
type, yeah. So then this is going to be just a text field? No, it's going to be a drop.
No, drop down.
Okay, so there.
So we'll do invoice lowercase
Yeah, okay, yeah, invoice.
and then add another one for payment.
And
But
then,
the value I would put capital I, capital P.
okay. And then, did we just work out another one, like the state as well, or not? So we got paid or unpaid, and we also got draft or published, or we're just leaving state as it was.
Well, this is a type field. This isn't the table. So the name or the name of the status is going to be whatever we want. So it's just going to be, do we want to have any default ones that are already loaded?
Yeah. So
But it wouldn't be in here. This is just one field inside the table.
right, this wouldn't be where we'd put paid, unpaid. Oh, this is one field. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now we've got type, but then we would have another field then with the with the
It'd be name or title or something.
yeah. Okay. So then this would be like paid or unpaid, right?
Well, no, we're not doing a drop down. This is going to be where they enter the name of the field that they want.
Okay. So this will
Change
then
it to text.
next field then.
Yeah.
I guess it would be required.
And we want to make the field unique. So that way somebody's not typing in the same.
Probably is shown on this view, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And then you want to probably go up, where it says, oh yeah, you got shown on form view. Make field unique.
yeah, all good to go.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Okay, so now for the type, we wouldn't show based on another field, would we? All right, so now we can go back to the payment.
Well, we do want to show it in list view, right? We want, somebody's looking at the list, they want to see what type it is.
Okay. And it's going to be unique as well, right?
No, because you can have multiple entries in the table that have the same type.
I see, I see, I see. Uh, okay, fine. Hey, Mike has joined. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
We're just
Sorry
trying.
I'm late.
No problems at all. We're trying to work our way through building an invoicing component. So by all means, copy us and join in and do the exercise at the same time, or sit and watch, or join in, or shout out if you've got questions or anything like that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back into payments, and now we need to add the status, right? Oh, we have the status here. But it's wrong. So what we actually need is to do the join. So then we're going to do status here. We'll join by the ID as the key, but then the value will show the name, right?
Yes.
And the type bit we only really need when we get into the front end. Or do we need it here?
Well, no, this is just one field, so we're only gonna be able to. Well, the field value is not, yeah, it'll be the name that we're entering in, exactly, so. So when somebody goes to select the status, then it should go into this table. And be able to see for condition, go down there and make sure that it's maybe if the state is 1. There's a condition 2 fields down.
Okay, so this is a where clause for the foreign key SQL statement. So only one clause is permitted. So
So beware where state equals 1, right? So if it's not published, then it won't show. Do we have to put where, or is it
I don't know. I don't think so. I would guess, but I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, okay. So anything else we need to do on here? So I've shown it on the list.
No, but usually you're not gonna nail everything the first time around, so we do the best we can, install it, see what it looks like, then we can always go back and
Right. So look, we added
and
payment, so let's make sure it's in the invoices as well. So I think we need to add a new field then. Hmm. Okay, cool, and then show the list view. I guess it should be required as well. Okay. So now those are all done. Is that everything, or should we go to the views part now?
well, I guarantee you it's definitely not everything, but
I mean, we could spend all day configuring it and not get anywhere by the end of the event, right?
yeah, the only thing is right now, if you look at all the database tables, they're all kind of spread around, so if we install this, I mean, does it add the com underscore invoicing in front, or these seem to be the actual table names, which we want to get them organized, so it should be,
It will do it. That's what the hash is for, right?
well, the hash is for, whatever the database prefix would go, but this way, this would literally have these database tables spread throughout instead of having them grouped together, like all of them say invoicing underscore
Do you know what?
reoccurring.
Let's install it and find out, I guess.
Okay,
So look, I'll just go.
no, just hit build and download. I mean, Literally, we install it, look at it, but I'm telling you, I have a
Mm.
feeling it's gotta be com underscore something.
Yeah, but I still need to install it somewhere, so I was just going to create a bit of space somewhere.
Okay,
I'll just create um, a quick cPanel, and then we can put it in there, and I can delete it again afterwards if I need to. Yes, I guess we'll try it with Joomla 6 and see what happens.
well, if it works with native Joomla 5, it should work in Joomla 6 for the most part.
That's a very broad statement, Adam. Cool. So let's move it.
Do Joomla 5, just because if there's any issues, we need to know whether it's because it's on Joomla 6 or not, and this will at least eliminate that as an out of the equation.
How do I get to Joomla 5?
Scroll down, you're almost there.
Yeah.
There you go.
You have to upload it super quick, and then the last bit takes forever. Let's go. Let me see if I can just do FTP instead. Easily. I think I have to do it for like SSH, so give me a second. But then nuke all these keys at the end. Stick this on screen so you guys can watch me. So I just created an SSH field with this key and see if it now allows us to work it. SSH init host does not exist. Okay, 1 second. I typed a mistake. Yes, I have. That's my problem. Okay, cool. So now public HTML and then the damn thing's done it, has it? That's done it. Okay, cool. Extract that. Right, so let's quickly chuck a database together. There's a database, and then we found PHP version, okay. I think that is everything we need there. I'll just turn off output buffering. Let's put that 60. Now, wait. Database name. Username. Database name. Password. Just one. I'm gonna do wrong. Okay. Right, good. You have a Joomla. Now let's see if it installs, which it should do. I'll just leave it there for now.
Maybe when you save it, Owen, save it each one in a separate folder with like the version number. So that way, if let's say we have a bad build, we can always go back and reinstall
Okay.
the previous instead of overriding it each time.
Yeah, we can increment the number anyway. So cool. I'll make folders in there for you too. Okay, so it's installed, no problems. The field status has been modified. Plugin status was successful and the module was successful. So here we have it. So we have something. Okay, so we're missing some language strings. If I click new. Okay. Cool. So language strings is well, just in case anyone's watching on YouTube, do you guys all know what language strings are? I'm assuming some of you do. Mary, do you know what they are?
Yep.
Cool. Well, yeah, in case anyone is watching, language strings are the things that turn this into a real word. And the reason we use them is to make things multilingual. So I can just use this one thing and I could make it in English, Spanish, whatever else. Anyway, so like we've got all our tables. Let's just have a quick look at the plugin that was created. So it's just created a Finder plugin, so we can use the Smart Search in our component. And then it's created a module called invoicing. So it can be used to show the content. Okay. Okay. So we can select our table. It's quite a cool module, I guess. And we could choose an individual item as well if we wanted to. Or we could just use a list. Okay. Cool. That gives us a good starting point. May as well publish it, I guess, and give it a position. We don't have any data yet, so it won't show anything. So let's just check the front end and see if there's anything. So I guess we will need to create a menu item. So should we see if one can be created? There we are, invoicing. We don't have anything yet, so anything we can create, that would it, I think. Status form, okay. So if I now, status is we don't have any yet. If we have the status form, ooh, it didn't work very well. Is this something we need? We haven't got anything yet to do, so I guess we need to add some statuses. Okay, so for an invoice, and we'll call it paid and unpaid, right? And then if we go back to the menu now, right. Okay, and does that now mean we can create the other one? Single status. Okay. So now if I refresh it, status is still nothing. Single status, nothing. Well, I don't know why that's not working, if I'm honest with you.
Log in on the front end.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Oh, there you go. A very good point. The status form allows us to choose invoice or payment, and then so is this going to update it or is this going to change it?
You're in an edit form, so that's gonna change it.
So you're right. Okay, fine. So they don't have a create form then, do they? Maybe changing that changes it.
Yeah, because now it says edit 1 versus edit 2.
Yeah, but this is now paid instead of unpaid, so we're just still on the edit form. So we don't have a create form.
Well, I mean, we have front end menu items for statuses, but we don't have anything for an invoice, right? Which is ultimately what we're looking to manage, not the status.
Yes. Single status. Okay. So yeah, so then we would go back to okay. So where's back to components and then so invoices, recurring invoices, I guess. So is there as a list view on the front end. And then I guess you do want to see the individual view of the invoice, right? And I suppose if we allow front end editing, we were going to add a config as well, weren't we? So, what did you suggest we were going to add? I did 0 API key. So,
Sorry, it was currency.
oh yeah, that's it.
So we just give like, you know, euros, pounds, and dollars for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So if we now build and we'll hopefully see the next part. So,
Before you build it though, shouldn't you look to see why the language files aren't generated? Maybe you have to check that it makes it translatable.
um, I don't know why that would be. What are you thinking in the field?
I feel like in the field itself, it had an option to make it, it was like on the left towards the bottom. But I saw it somewhere. Maybe go like higher.
Nothing there. This?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but why are the language files not?
Why don't we have a quick look and see if it's created the language files and we just need to edit it maybe. So they're going to be in here.
No, it's in the back end. If it's all a mess, then go in the administrator language files.
So we are com invoice or something, right? Yeah.
All right, open. Yeah.
Weird. So it only has some of them, it doesn't have all of them. Oh, look, it has this. Loop language field names. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's like it didn't finish creating all of them. It had the XXX and all that stuff there. But it looks like it didn't finish.
Maybe. Yeah, it's just all the headings and stuff. Let's put some stuff in and not others. So we could go away and create them quite easily, and you can also do it in the back end here. So we look at like one that's missing.
Well, find one that's missing and then look to see if it's on, the non-system INI file, which seems to looks like it was built out further. But my guess is something happened when it was creating the language files for the main one that didn't finish.
No, my guess is it doesn't know what to call them, right?
Well, look at that. What does it have? Com underscore? Yeah, it does in the beginning.
So if we look on here, I mean, it has got a name, right? So it should have done it. You're right. Well, maybe this is something we can ask Soren. Let's see if he, because for sure language strings are not much fun to write. Time consuming and boring. But let's I'm aware of people's time and stuff as well. So let's like do one of them so that we know we have it. We'll just stick it in the admin for now, and we'll just do that, and then we'll save it. And then if we go back to edit the component, and if we just call it with a 1 on the end, then perhaps when we install it, we'll see what happens. So if we now go, oh, I still didn't do it. That's weird. So then, no, I didn't do it again for some reason. Something's not sitting right with it, I guess.
If you go back into your ini file that you're just in there,
So say again?
yeah, go into that, open that one up again in edit.
Yeah.
If you go and get rid of all the basically it doesn't like extending the lines. So like where you got line 38 down the bottom there, get rid of, make that one line so it's continuous. Don't let it wrap around and drop.
Oh, I see.
So if you just to test it, if you want to, just drop a quote on the
But
end of it.
definitely definitely get rid of line 40.
Or get rid of the, oh, 37's got a space.
The space isn't gonna do anything, but line 40, anything after that would definitely not work.
Okay, fine.
Although there's nothing else after, but you know, that doesn't
Okay. But then maybe I'll just try reinstalling it again then. See if that changes anything. Didn't change anything on there. Let's see if it reinstalled that weird bit at the end. Yep, so it back in, okay. Okay, well, maybe this is a gremlin that someone needs to fix, or maybe we just haven't understood something.
The error is in your file it's because it's repeating the line, it's wrapping the lines down.
But this,
Yeah. So I tried to do this a couple of years ago and I couldn't get it to work.
oh, okay. So if we go, sorry, we're in here. If we, maybe we just shorten our description then. Is that what you're saying, or?
Well, that's the description of your component, but you've got different. If you just go back into the end of that file,
Yeah.
drag the window, you extend it and see whether it's just wrapping.
It's just wrapping, yeah. Oh, that doesn't make a difference. But if I go, oh, I see. Oh, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
So if you're taking off the end of each line, so it's one line runs out the end of the right of the screen, or just to test it, you can just put a quote on the end of line 38 and delete all the lines below it, and you'll have to do it again at the top.
You mean like just be like that?
Yeah, no,
And then delete this one.
line 38 altogether.
I'll just delete it altogether, right? Okay.
Yeah, it'll when you install it again, it'll come back. But
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then do the same here.
5 and 6 go as well.
So say again. So should I delete this one as well, or?
Yeah, get
Oh.
rid of that one and 5 as well, I think.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
And line 21.
21? Oh yeah.
You should do in that same row. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
save that and see whether the rest of it works.
Okay, so then what am I doing? Reinstalling it, or?
No, it should have just, if that was the problem, then it should have fixed it.
Right, okay. Well, it doesn't look like it. But I mean, they don't even exist in the file, right? So,
Yeah, the problem is that file's just not loading for some reason. It's something.
Okay.
yeah, there's something breaking the language from being
You try just
created.
quite a bit shorter.
It has nothing to do with that. There's something else that um I think he's right. There's something in the back end that's breaking. Because usually your sys files aren't going to have nearly as many entries as the main one, but that one's longer.
Okay,
And
in there, back in the ini file, just delete the bottom half of them. So from about line, I don't know, 18 below, and you'll find out which half has got the problem.
Okay.
well, I don't think I think these actually exist. There's probably 200 more that it never created, and I think
Yeah.
that's the issue.
Right. Exactly, yeah. So something to do with the install file. So should we have a look at the install file maybe?
Well, I think that we're getting off track. I think as long as we kind of have a general idea of what we're trying to do. I mean, we got a component going, but obviously language files have to create them all one by one.
Yeah, so we don't want to do that. But so look, we haven't got any views yet. We create some views. In fact, we added the we added the options. Oh, there they are. So yeah, now we have some options. Okay. So there's our thing that we created. That's cool. So yeah, I guess the next step would be to add some views, right? So if we add views, do you think it's going to create menu items? Because at the moment we
But
are.
yeah, usually, yeah, it's usually that's how you usually would get to it.
So we'll do that, and then we'll add it to the front end, link to the details, now the front end editing, and I'll create it. And I guess I'll add a increment here. And then okay, so then I will see if it's created a menu item. Ah, here we go, it has. So now we have invoice form. Required settings. Okay. Invoices. Yeah, that's just the on a single invoice as well. But we don't have. Okay, we have naught for now. So then on the front end, we now have. Okay, we haven't created an invoice, so we need to do that, I guess. Oh, invoice has gone down the bottom. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Look, it's got even worse. Oh wow. Now we have no fields. What's going on with that? That wasn't happening before. Hmm. Why has it got the XML description twice? That's like possibly something going on with that, right? Okay, something is screwy with the languages anyway. But okay, so now we don't have a way of creating invoices. Let me see if I install it again if it fixes it.
I think you have a name conflict. Empty fields shall have different names from tables.
Oh.
Because you can directly use the table admin view.
So this should be something different.
But Owen, you're creating a view for invoicing instead of just using the reoccurring invoices table and making a view off of that. And I think that's where the issue is.
Oh, I see.
Like
Well,
it would already create a basic list view, based on the table anyways that it's created. So it's already kind of inherently built in. This would be if you're creating a view that kind of is a custom view that maybe pulls data from multiple tables. And I think that's where if you just get rid of this and then focus on converting the reoccurring invoices into a front end view, then I think that would resolve the issue.
so I mean, I was kind of expecting them to be there for the ones we'd created actually. So I wonder if there is a glitch that's not
Well, did you set on that one front end view and list view and all that stuff for the invoices?
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess and then the payments, let's check. Okay, so let's add one for the payments and then okay, so I guess let's see what difference that one small change made. I'm wondering if it's hopefully not because we're saving over the top of it or something like that. Oh, it's gone back up the top. Positive sign. Okay. Maybe there's a glitch in the build somehow.
No, you got rid of the view that he said you were using a lot of the same.
Gotcha. Right. Look. Oh, that one's a tape drop down. Okay. Okay, so save and close work. Okay. But then okay. So payments and invoices are now here. Oh. So then these will okay, and now we can add one. Okay. So now we can add one in the front end. So is that with status? Oh, right. So status is we could have done it like that as well. Interesting. Kind of hard to use without the language strings, but at least we now have some front end views and some add and edit forms. I guess the things that we started off with this thing, some of the things it hasn't done is it won't have done the PDF generation, so that would require us to custom code it. Line items, is that in there? Yeah, so I guess line items would be another table, right?
Yeah, you would need another table for that.
And then that would have like the description and the cost and everything on it. Weird because then that would kind of be a list view, right? So
Yeah, you'd have, basically, I mean, it should be invoices and then invoice items or something like that would be the subtitle for the second table.
okay, let's go back through there and see what else. What's the tax support we haven't really covered, which is even so for what we've done in the short space of time, and given we don't know what we're doing with the tool, it's been pretty quick, massive time saver compared to like writing all of this yourself or using an old extension and renaming it. Even renaming it is a pain in the ass, right? The amount of strings you got to change. So we haven't allowed self-registration, but that would be through Joomla, so that'd be okay. And payment history. So I guess we would have something tied to the user. So I guess in here, the invoices should also be tied to a user, right? Because if I want to log in to see my own invoices, I at the moment would see everyone's. So then, also what we would do then is, I guess we'll call it user, and then we would,
Wasn't there a setting for the different tables on allowing users to view their own items?
yes, but if we look on here, we can
But
actually,
that would mean that the users created the items in their, versus somebody in the back end, like Mary creating the invoice.
yeah,
There
yeah,
needs to be another field to say, who does she give permission, or, well, that's where you would need to have the client database table that she would create, and then link the invoice to that client, and then the client would be able to log in and see all their invoices.
yeah, but we just use like users, ref, so we use the core Joomla as much as,
No, the users would store the user information, but we need a table that would allow her to name the client and then link it to the user in the user table.
but you could just do that in Joomla, right? You could use, the client name could just be a custom field in the user table.
True, but what if you have multiple people that are in the same company that want to be able to view it, like the person who she's working with, but then the accounts payable, and then now you just limited yourself to only allowing one or the other,
Okay,
versus you create a client and then you can link them to one or multiple users.
okay, so let's go through that process then. So we'd create a new table in for clients, right? Uh,
Did you also look if the database tables all have invoicing in front, or
have a quick, no, I don't know.
no, you need to just go into the PHP my admin. Yeah.
And, okay. So then, no, they don't. So that's
It
the first.
hasn't spread out all over, so
It
the next
has,
thing to do, you'd have to clean them up and have invoicing in front of all of them.
yeah. So that would be a valid suggestion for an improvement.
But not invoicing clients, just invoicing underscore clients, because we haven't created that table yet, so we can,
Oh, I
and then
see.
it,
That one is okay. Yeah. Um. oh, So, but then all of these ones would have to be.
and realistically, reoccurring invoices should just be invoices.
That's true. But then it would still be invoicing invoices, right?
Yep.
And then I know Mary's sitting there thinking, well, I'm no closer to having a usable system.
No, this is actually pretty interesting, but I'm also thinking that since you know this is an issue in your initial prompt, you would just ask it to go ahead and add the invoicing prefix, correct?
I don't know if that would work or not, but you're right. It's definitely something we would think about trying. Oh, oops. I need to do that one.
Why do we have a invoicing custom fields table when we can use the native Joomla custom fields functionality with the component?
Yeah, I'm wondering if that actually is the native component for Joomla. I'm not sure because it's just got custom fields.
Yeah, if it was, it'd be using the Joomla custom fields tables,
It is, isn't it?
which no, because the custom fields tables wouldn't be custom underscore fields just by itself. It'd be com underscore fields something.
So we should delete it then, right?
I don't think we need that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have them all lined up, and we have invoicing clients here now. So then we would add join with the users, right?
This would be client name.
Um,
No, first we'd have to have client name, like company name, address,
sure.
um. If they have like
Client name, but how are we gonna?
tax ID number, that kind of stuff.
Oh, what's this formula? Just noticed that. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay. But look, we need to link it to the Joomla user, right? So let's do that bit to start off with.
Move the client name after before you build it, so it's right after the ID.
Okay, we'll do that in a sec. Let's link it to the Joomla users.
And make it multiple.
Make it multiple.
Yeah, it should be go scroll down to the bottom. That way you can link it to multiple Joomla users.
Okay. Fine. I guess it's required.
I wouldn't make it required because maybe they somebody doesn't want to create users for them. They just want to be able to send it to them.
Sure. That's true. Okay. So then, sorry, you want the client name up here, you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably enough then. I mean, we could add more fields, but in the interest of time.
You want to display the client name in the list as well.
Okay, cool. That probably is a required field as well. Okay. So then give it another go, building it in.
Well, you also have Joomla version 4 for all those. For some reason, it says instead of 5 or 6
Where was you seeing this in here?
in the list type in the list there. It says Joomla version. Maybe it's just the default that it shows. You go back to the previous table.
I go to
No, just go up to my components.
uh,
You see the column that says Joomla version? No, no, no.
one second.
Where you're in it, don't click anything else. Just look.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah, but it doesn't have any choice there. It's like four,
Yeah,
five.
that may just be the default.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll build it and then So you can see here all the files it creates. So you can see how much time it's saving you.
Well, it's only saving us time if we can get something real out of this.
Yeah. Well, no, even if it isn't
But
something real.
but you could you know, if let's say like in Terry's case, if he's got Claude Code set up and this is the only thing that's holding him from being able to do something, he could run it Claude Code through here and tell it to find all the missing language files and create it, and then that would be one way of getting around it instead of having to manually create each one.
For sure, for sure. And this is cool. Look, it's renamed them rather than adding in new fields that we didn't need doubles of.
Yeah, so it should be easier to organize now when you're looking in the database itself.
Yeah. So we have our clients here. Get a new one. It picks the Joomla user group, which is great. Where is about to invoice me? That's cool. So I guess then the invoices would tie back to the client name.
Yeah, you should be able to create a filter in the list view based on client name. That way, then you can, you know, have it show you all the invoices for a particular client.
So this is invoices. Oh, we needed line items as well, but on here we actually haven't got a client name, so we would then add again the join.
And then select show on list view.
And then add the filter.
Yep.
Yeah. Manfred's off. Okay, Manfred, thanks a lot for coming and thanks for your input. Hopefully see you again sometime. So look, even though we don't have something, I know the language strings are a bit of a problem, but this is still a better starting point than, you know, just writing the code from scratch or changing another, you know, changing another component, duplicating it and rewriting everything. So now we have that and we have filter view and we can filter by the client name. So it's pretty neat as well.
That language problem,
Yeah.
can you go back into your cPanel where the two files are for your file manager? Okay, now just where you are there before you go.
Yeah.
You're invoicing sys.ini. That's
Yep.
what you can see in when the product gets installed.
Yeah.
When you're doing your menu. So that part of it is working.
Hmm.
So files are in the right place and they're probably being found. So there's just, you've got a syntax error in that invoicing ini, and it's just not loading.
So I'll tell you what, let's have a quick look at our description because have we inadvertently added like a apostrophe or something that could be causing the problem?
When you removed that bit before, it didn't actually fix the problem.
Right, right.
So
Well,
if you go You go back into your ini file again under File Manager. Yeah, edit that.
Right.
All right. So somewhere in there, there's a problem. So if you just chop out half of that, you'll find out whether it's in the first half or the bottom half.
Gotcha. All right, so if we got
That's a lot different than it was
But
before.
Owen, this is the system file. We don't need to touch this. This is for, you know, anything that's outside the component, but you can definitely copy this. It's we know where the issue is because at the bottom of the file, it's of the other one, it's got the XXX underscore,
Yeah.
which is the default that it uses before it starts to rename it. So something is breaking on it every time right there. Cutting it in half isn't going to figure it out. That's the issue, line 40 right there. But that's not something that we can fix. That's something that the component is unable to continue.
Yeah. So if you're right there, Adam, so if we delete lines 39 to 43, the component work, then you just have to work out why it keeps getting regenerated.
I see, but the problem is not like if I go here, like this invoice
It
ID.
just doesn't exist anyways because it never finished building it out. That's the problem.
And there is one there. But this is in the sys idiot.
Yeah, what I was going to suggest is why don't you copy everything from the sys folder over and see that would probably knock out some of those language strings already. Just
Okay,
put that in the regular one.
give it a go. Oh, invoice ID's there now.
Man, we're making progress.
Yeah. So
That's
oh, here we
that's
go. Oh, it's broken because recurring invoice doesn't exist. So did we somehow link the two from payments? So foreign key. Yeah, so it should be.
invoicing.
It's a bit annoying that I didn't catch that itself, but even so, easy fix.
Well, you'd have to reinstall it again for it to work, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I thought we did since then, but okay, let's see if it works. Be right, it should do. It's a real shame because if the language strings work, we feel a lot closer to being finished, right? Because they don't, it feels like it's broken.
Well, yeah, we would at least feel like we're getting closer.
Yeah. See this one still. Payment methods. There's still something wrong in it. Where's our join? Type. Oh. There's no join in here. Oh, sorry, it's in the payments. Payment methods. Yeah. Look, I'm aware that I said this would be from 3 to 5, so if people want to stop here, I'm totally not holding you to ransom. I know we haven't quite got to the stage of having something really working well, but if the language strings were working, this would be quite a bit closer.
You didn't have any problem with the language strings when you did your freelancing component, correct?
I never installed it. I was just working on building it and seeing how the tool
Oh, I
works.
see. Okay.
Yeah, I only tested it like for an hour or so just to see is it worth doing a long jog on this?
Well, why don't you install the other one and see if it's the same issue with that? Then we know it's not us, it's a them issue.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so then, but if it works,
That's a good suggestion, Mary.
that's a great idea. So, like, so if it works, like, it's not me, it's you guys.
Mhm.
Okay. No way. Oh, okay. Something weird there. No, there's still some weirdness going on. Oh, this though, that'll be because of the views though. That'll be as our friend pointed out earlier, I did all these views, so actually I could just delete them all. It should work. Yeah, so this one's working, right? So this is um it's gotta be like can we just try it without the long description?
Yeah, but look at it's not working. Look at the name of the language strings that you have in those tables. Phone underscore number, that's not, those aren't language files.
Oh yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. It's not working. But they're all lowercase. Well, that's probably just the way I typed them, maybe then.
Well, you probably put it to not be translatable in that component, and that's probably where the issue is.
Uh, but it just says ENGP here, right? And then,
So what if you undid that?
well, this is the same thing on there. I wouldn't have changed it, did I? No, I didn't change it. It's the same thing. So then let's look a bit deeper because these
Well, yeah, look at the label.
jobs. So let's go to jobs. You're right. They're all
I guess the question is, did you create the other one with AI as well, or did you create it on your own?
no with AI. But why are they not in capitals? Is my question.
Well, there's a lot of things. It doesn't have the com underscore or anything before it. I
That's
mean,
not.
those aren't standard like Joomla language strings. That's just camel case replacing spaces with underscores.
Yeah, but I didn't like. I just didn't. I wouldn't have gone to the effort of making. Look, these are all lowercase, right? So why? But they're all in capitals on our thing. Like these are all normal case, but they're on the invoicing one. They're all capitals. I wouldn't have gone around changing this stuff. I hadn't even installed it, so I wouldn't have even known to look to do that. So these are picking up probably the right things. I just probably haven't changed them all.
In that ini file, what's the last string that it actually converted properly?
In like the freelancer one.
Yeah, where you are, invoicing.ini.
Oh, this one.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we can't use that anymore because we overrode it with some of the sys file information.
No, I think when we installed it, it probably fixed it again. But I think it's this description is too long. I think that's probably causing the issue. But let's have a look at the freelancer one and see what that says. What was it called? Com freelancers. So, oh. Does it have the same thing at the end? No, let's put loads of them in there. Let's try reducing the size of the description and see if that fixes everything.
Does it matter that you didn't change the version number?
No, it doesn't. I was doing that more out of good practice, but it doesn't actually matter. It just installs over the top.
Okay.
Sometimes isn't really a need to do that. Oh, still no issues. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, still. First of all, there's two XMLs, which is
Yeah, that means that that's what it starts off as, and then it's supposed to convert that into actual language strings. So somewhere along the line at that point, it broke down and it didn't complete it, and that's where we're at. So don't know why.
we've got this select form. So is that something missing from here? Basically, I want to see if there's like, Terry was saying, well, these are still quite long descriptions, so
Yeah, no, in your freelancer, you've got lines wrapping and it's working, so it's not what I thought it was.
it's right, okay. But this one's
Go
adding,
to the end to see if it completed at the end.
yeah, it did. So
See, is that supposed to be the end? Yeah, okay.
I don't know, to be honest with you. It has got a couple of spare lines, but that's a sub form, so yeah, it probably is actually.
Do you get when you're compiling the component, do you get like a debugging or logging type?
This is
Okay.
so it's being built and then added files and then
Yeah.
no, it just tells you the files created, so
It sort of seems like you're just sort of getting one string that's just not translating and it's just blowing up there, moving on.
right. So yeah, if we added like an apostrophe or something in somewhere. It's like the first field or something. Oh, this doesn't have a list option in it, so could that be the problem?
Not for the language file, I wouldn't think.
I don't think so either, but well, we may as well test it since that is an unusual thing. Huh.
We're buggered.
Yes, it was it. Still like all with the underscores, but invoice ID. That
So what did you actually change back in the component?
that's what I was thinking. No, the field name is invoice ID, so it's just we haven't given it a proper name. So
Yeah, well, look at the label. You have invoice underscore ID. No, that field name needs to stay the same. It's the label that you need to change over on the right side.
oops. Yeah, okay.
You can just put ID, or I don't think you need to put invoice ID.
That doesn't matter. Same. Would you believe it? We fixed it.
Well, we broke it and then we fixed it.
Which is exactly what we were trying to do. Just so we can go the others. Oh, still invoice underscore ID. That's weird.
Well, go back and take a look and see if it actually saved the change.
Uh,
Oh, look at down below, list display options.
okay. Okay, so probably gonna work this time, I would guess. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we worked it out somehow. Thanks to the combined effort of Terry and Mary and everyone else, so that's good. Team players. Yeah, so anyway, I guess we have now built something which you could consider usable.
Well, I mean, we'd still have to have the fields to be able to add individual line items to an order, which we don't have.
Yeah,
We'd also need to have some sort of view that they can go look at to pay and view their invoice.
Yeah, and I'm guessing at some point somebody would want to add in an API connection to QuickBooks or Xero or something. What happens if I press share on this? Share a copy of component with other component creator users. Okay, cool. I'll just copy that then. So now that's it. I don't get it. I just give them this code.
Yeah, you would give them that code, they would paste it in, and it would show up inside their list of components.
Import component. Oh, and they just put it there. Okay, that's cool. So we could put this in the description of the YouTube. And
Well, yeah, or you could also put it inside the Mattermost channel. So if anybody else is downloading this, they can then take this and run with it instead of starting from scratch.
yeah, and most importantly, Mary could have it if she wanted to. So yeah, anyway, like, look, we've been at it maybe a couple of hours, maybe an hour, and yeah, probably a couple of hours in total after all the messing around at the beginning. But I would say we've probably built 50% of what we'd consider an invoicing component. And there's plenty of components where the goal really is to show some data and be able to input some data. So there's plenty that can be done here pretty quickly.
And Mary, I think the biggest takeaway from this is that if you notice, I mean, everybody contributed different ideas from their experience, but in the end, nobody really got into the code and had to know any coding. It was really just a matter of, I mean, we kind of bit a little bit more than we should have on this one. We should have just started with, a basic view, and then we could have added on to it for, now we're going to add this section to it. That's usually the way that you do it. So that way you don't, the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time, not all at once. But this is a good example of, using this tool to create the actual tool that you need to solve your real world issue. And, so it's really just a matter of just sitting down and kind of going through it and, having something where you're just downloading it, installing it. Okay, now we're getting closer, and then you keep tweaking it and tweaking it. But in the process, you end up learning more about how to build extensions and how, things are built in Joomla just by going through this whole process. And so I've always found, as being self-taught, that the best way to learn is just to jump in there and get your hands dirty. And, this is probably the cleanest way of getting your hands dirty, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think, go on, Mary, go on, you talk, go on.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is something that I could do. And I agree with you 100%. This would be a way to not start just from scratch and be able to build something useful enough and then find and tweak whatever problems or be able to add things and make it completely how I want it to be. So I was pretty excited when I saw the YouTube video of when he did that, and I really appreciate you guys' time today walking through it as well. So I'm sure that he's going to get a lot more sales now.
Yeah. Look, the only thing that would be really, really useful, like I think you could build like 80 or 90% of what you need probably with this tool and a bit of messing around. But the thing that you won't do is like PDF generation and sending of the emails. So that would be something you would have to go away into forums or Stack Exchange or even Claude or whatever to try and work out how to get the email sending. And then probably you're going to set that up with a cron job or something. But that's not too
But yeah, and the reality is if you get 90% done and you have to spend money on a developer to help you tie up the remaining 10%, it's going to be far less than having them create it and and going from there. At some point, you're not going to use the component creator anymore because you're going to make your own changes, and as soon as you reinstall it, it's going to override all those changes. But up until that point, if you can have it do a lot of the heavy lifting, the language strings and creating the form fields and the views and things that just take a lot of time when you do it by hand, then that gets you that much closer to where you really want to be.
Yeah, and it's a real shame there's no way for it to retain your changes somehow.
Couldn't you make the changes in the component creator?
Not very easily. So I think like, for example, if we were to say, okay, we're going to make it send emails now, we're probably going to be editing PHP files to get that part working, or we're going to make it have a PDF download of the invoice. We're probably going to install some like PDF PHP or something like that, and then some library, and then
Well, the emails, they probably could just tie into the core Joomla, mailing component.
yeah,
If this is,
it doesn't in here, right? And there's no easy way to add it. Like even if we add a view, that's probably not going to be the thing, right? Because it's not really. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of component creator, not component editor.
yeah, it'd be
I
nice if
mean,
you brought the edited files in there somehow, so you could carry on it tweaking the fields easily.
My experience with Component Creator was I used it about 6-7 years ago when I was trying to get my head around how to build an extension, and it actually had a paid job. So I started off with Component Creator, built the basics of it, and all the stuff you said about in terms of, a good way to sort of get your head around it and learn it and build something and have something that works.
Mm.
So it's a good place to start, but I found one, because you can't edit it, but over the 5 or 6 years, that application, as the clients wanted changes and wanted things, and I've learned more about coding, is I've actually managed to replace all of its code with sort of different code. I would say better sometimes, probably not. Yeah, so it's a good starting point, but I've found that, a lot of the code it wrote, and this is code it wrote 6 or 7 years ago, it had a lot of development since then. Yeah, but I found I actually ended up removing a lot of it out of the extension by the
Yes, someone else.
it just removed it. Got better at doing things. So
Yeah, someone said it writes like too much code, it creates too many files. So I don't know. That was a while ago I heard that, so I don't know if it's still true. But obviously, if you're writing your own code, you only write exactly what you need. Um, so it could be, but even so, it's a huge time saver.
and Terry, if you were to start off building it like this, then you could train, let's say, Claude Code to, modify it or create new views that you need that are more customized to what you're looking for based on what it already is there, which should make it easier for the training process and for it to be able to read through and add whatever it needs along the way. So I think this would be a good you know, starting point, and then for somebody that needs additional features that also is, you know, utilizing AI like in their PHP Storm or in their IDE, that then they could take it and run with it even further because there's already something that's already built that it's, you know, has some sort of context and reference from.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, this has only just been released, right? Who knows where Soren's going to take the AI part of this? It might be that it improves significantly, and we can do, you know, like this is a component creator, and then afterwards you have to kind of build it yourself, but it gets you, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80% of the way there. There might be that there's one that eventually that can create the whole damn component for you, you know? Might be that you say, I want it to do email. It says, sure, we can add that on.
Yeah, it's in terms of like where I was back 6 years ago, 7 years ago, just getting started. I found building a component so you've got something to start working with, and yeah, as things have evolved, I've sort of managed to remove most of that code in the application. And I've kind of noticed the same thing with using Claude, is it will generate a component for you, but you've got to really spend more time going through and just cleaning up and doing the things the way that like I've learned and the things that I'd like to see in my code. So 6 or 7 years ago, I didn't have any other code to sort of to start with, whereas now I've got things that I've improved and done. So if I'm building an extension, I'm going to go out and clone some of the stuff that my library of things that I've been doing over the last 6 or 7 years. And so what I'm finding with Claude, and I'm trying to teach Claude how to use my code that I've already written so that it's writing in my style. And so it's sort of, yeah, there's similarities in building a component through a generator like this and doing it with AI. I think that, yeah, it's not going to give you the end result. You've still got to do work, but it's a very good starting point. It saves you a lot of time getting that 80, 90% up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I think it's been a worthwhile meetup, to be honest with you, because we can show how easy it is to build, I mean, at least simple components, you know. This one I would consider to be not super simple, but I think we've achieved a lot of things already.
Well, I think we all appreciate that you're awake and alert on this meeting. So we've made a lot of progress on multiple fronts.
It's, you know, 3 p.m. is a little early.
Yeah, thank you for demonstrating.
Cool. I'll upload the video to YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it again at any point, you've got it there. And I'll also get the one from the last meeting up, which is on my laptop, so I'll grab it now and I'll upload that as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Cool. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye.